A 10-year-old child was seriously hurt in a crash involving a police cruiser. The driver of the car he was in was arrested for DUI. Services have been announced for a beloved flight nurse killed in a medical helicopter crash on Highway 50. Plus, a funnel cloud caught on camera to the south of us during yesterday's storm.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
New details in the crash involving a Redding police officer. We now know the name of the woman arrested for DUI. 29-year-old Rachel Bigger, also facing a child endangerment charge after last night's crash at Placer and Pine Streets. CHP said the Redding police officer was heading east on Placer, responding to another crash with emergency lights activated when the crash occurred in the intersection. These are photos from the Facebook page Shasta County Emergencies and Crimes. A 10-year-old boy went to the hospital with major injuries. Bigger and two other passengers, a man and a 9-year-old girl, suffered minor injuries. The officer also had minor injuries. Also new at noon, a celebration of life has been announced for the Shasta County flight nurse Susie Smith, killed in the crash of a Reach medical helicopter in Sacramento. Valley Christian Family Church tells us services are planned for Friday, the 14th of November at the Redding Civic Auditorium. It starts at 6 p.m. The doors will open at 5. Several inches of snow has fallen in the Sierra in the last 24 hours. Take a look. It was still coming down early this morning, just above the 5,000 foot mark in elevation, with chain controls earlier today for both highways 50 and Interstate 80. Caltrans had chain control stations up along the highways. Not much fun for drivers, but made for a beautiful landscape. All right, a live look now from the IME Alert California camera. You're seeing a little bit of smoke coming up there. Not sure if that's a control burn, but also still threatening clouds. Meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding has a look at what you can expect for the day ahead.
Well, good afternoon, Linda. We are taking a look at infrared satellite and just noticing this evident area of low pressure here just spinning away, moving out of California though now and starting to push into Nevada. But you can just see that evident counterclockwise flow. And as this starts to pull further away, we're going to see conditions getting better for us. Right now, looking at the valley, we see temps in those mid to upper 50s, a little cooler for the Sierra and Cascades. Not too far away, though, a lot of us at 50 or above. And as far as your forecast out the door today, we'll see more sunshine building as we progress later into today. Those temperatures maxing out in the 60s for Chico as we head towards Redding. A similar story here, looking at temperatures maxing out in those 60s for today. More sunshine as we progress later into tonight. So that'll be the name of the game moving forward. More sunshine, less cloud cover. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, thank you, Mikkel. Caught on camera, raw video of a funnel cloud. Take a look. This is in Monterey County. You can see it as it moved through the Salinas area yesterday, captured on a California Highway Patrol vehicle's dash cam. We're told that the funnel cloud did not touch down or cause any damage. Happening today, the Chico Unified School Board will take up pay raises for employees. At tonight's meeting, they'll discuss a plan that includes a 1.7% pay increase, which would be retroactive to July 1st. The nearly $2 million cost would come from new revenue and general fund reserves. The meeting tonight starts at 6. Paradise Town Council members gave a cool reception last night to a year-long $150,000 study commissioned to create a strategic healthcare recovery plan after the Camp Fire destroyed the town's only hospital. Consultants from the firm Abaris presented their findings and recommendations, with council members indicating the plan failed to meet their expectations. They pointed out errors in data and what some called a complete lack of understanding about the town's needs. Recommendations included in the plan call for offering incentives to healthcare organizations that are considering expanding services, working with Adventist Health Clinic to expand its hours, and changing its state license to become an urgent care. And as the council was poised to consider whether to accept or reject the plan, a resident stepped up to share an idea.
Listening in the audience, it was quite clear that the consultants have no grasp of what our community actually is or how services function here. We have quite a lot of nonprofits and advocacy agencies that supplement the exact services that they're talking about. I would recommend adding to your committee the voices of the people that do the work in the community every day so that they can better understand our deficits and our immediate needs before bringing you another draft.
The town council voted unanimously to table the issue for now to determine how to proceed. It rejects the report, or if it rejects the report, town staff says Paradise will not be required under the contract to pay the full amount for the study and plan. Well, if you filed for an extension, today is the last day to file your 2024 federal and state income taxes without a penalty. The State Franchise Tax Board has received about 18 million returns so far this year. Right now, most IRS locations are closed because of the government shutdown, with thousands of the agency's workers furloughed. Well, the staring contest on Capitol Hill has now entered its 15th day, with both sides unwilling to blink. There appears to be no end in sight to the federal government shutdown as the painful impact spreads nationwide. Ryan Nobles is in Washington with more on where things stand.
Day 15 of the federal government shutdown, and President Trump ramping up his response, warning he'll have a list of programs and jobs that could be cut forever by the end of the week.
So we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we wanted to close up or that we never wanted to happen, and we're not going to let them come back. The Democrats are getting killed, and we're going to have a list of them on Friday.
But in terms of ending the shutdown, the self-proclaimed deal maker has stayed on the sidelines, leaving his lieutenants on Capitol Hill to handle the showdown. One Democrat saying only Trump can end the impasse.
Senator, it sounds like what you're saying is that President Trump is the key to a quick end.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's the key. I think the Speaker and the majority leader will listen to him.
While those GOP leaders on the Hill are maintaining their stance, no deal on health care until Democrats agree to a short-term extension to reopen the government. But some Republicans are begging their leadership to get in a room and negotiate.
Should health care negotiations be on the table right now?
Yes, we should be exploring any and all possible avenues to get the government back open.
And as the divide in Washington grows, the ripple effect is extending across the country. National parks and museums are closing their doors. Tens of thousands of federal workers, including law enforcement, are starting to go without pay. And flight delays are mounting as TSA officers and air traffic controllers work without pay. All this as Republicans and Democrats remain unable to find common ground.
And we have new information from our newsroom. A federal judge has temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's administration from firing workers during the government shutdown. U.S. District Judge Susan Ilston in San Francisco issued the emergency order today. Still ahead today, how you can help stop the hate. A guest joins us next with details on what's happening locally.